support us.
Thank you.
I'm a family man, I'm a farmer. I'm the father of 4 children. I'm an irrigation farmer 30 kilometres west of Wagga, on the banks of the beautiful Murrumbidgee. We have many issues down there that we contend with. We're here to talk about the carbon tax rally today. And yet we're locked in fights with our coalition state government, running their own state water department, taking 48% of my water as I stand here and speak. Don't be deceived by their lies either.
That's right.
Be assured with the carbon tax, to give you, I'm no great speaker, I have no notes. I'm nothing like these gentlemen with hard, cold facts. But what I can tell you is, in my business, which affects every one of you, when you buy your meat, when you buy your vegetables, when you buy your food that sustains your living, it comes from the earth. It comes from people such as myself, my neighbours. Our irrigation sits idle. I'm 200 metres from the mighty Murrumbidgee, and our irrigation sits idle. Yesterday, between 18 and 30% of our cost of goods sold is electricity. 18 to 32%. Effective today, it's just gone up another 20%. Our other great input, fertilisers, and it is going to be affected, and they cannot tell us by how much. It is going to go through the roof.
Thanks, Gillard.
Our diesel fuels to run our machines, our tractors, our machinery, to produce this food to sustain Australians and export to the world. We can feed the world in Australia, from Australia, but it is shut down. These costs have gone through the roof. I spoke to a gentleman on 2GB on Wednesday, and he said, how much are you going to put up your commodity by to cover this? And this is the problem we have with the lying, deceitful, disgusting Julia Gillard. That we cannot pass that cost on. At harvest last year, this will give you an indication. Myself and my neighbours, a little history. In 1969, you could buy a 100 horsepower tractor for $4,800. Your fertiliser was $80 a tonne. Your fuel was $20 a gallon. 20 cents a gallon.
A gallon.
But the reward the farmer got was $120 a tonne for his wheat.
Yes.
And he lived, he supported his family, he supported his children. He provided to the local economy. He sold that crop overseas. The towns were built. Infrastructure was put in. Let's come forward 40 years to last year. That same tractor is $130,000. Our fertiliser is $900 to $1,100 a tonne. Our fuel is $1.51 a litre. But the big bonus we got, remember, we got $120 a tonne in 1969. Last year we got 127. So for 40 years of progress we have gone backwards. The carbon tax will affect all those inputs. Our water has been taken. I'm quiet because today when I leave here I drive back to Wagga. I drive back to my family, my children. And I have to say to them, there is no future for you on our farm. It's over. We have no choice. Our farms are sitting idle. They are being sold off to the foreign ownership.
The World Bank, the United Nations.
Our Australian people have been deserted. I look at this rally today and I believe this is a wake. It is a wake for the death of Australian manufacturing, Australian farming and the Australian people in their way of life. Julia Gillard has driven the final nail in the coffin. She has got, and her left-wing cronies, they have got the putrid smell on their hands of the death of Australians and their industries. And we must stand and fight back. further news to my family. There are a dozen farms around me for sale and no one wants them. We are sitting there idle. We are having to go and find jobs while you pay, here in the metropolitan areas, exorbitant prices for your commodities, for your food, for your livelihoods. And yet, we are importing it. The carbon tax will spell the end.
That's right.
I do not want to politicise this entirely, but rest assured there are small minor parties out there fighting back.
In the Gillard.
I am in the DLP. That's the DLP. I make no mistake about that. We are there. And I say to you now, and I ask all of you, keep Tony Abbott and all his party to his promises. Take it one step further. Remember, they still have emission targets. It's not just about the carbon tax here today. It's about taking that step of removing it and going further and getting rid of these reduction targets. It will not end until that stops. I promise you now, the DLP promises you, we will be there. Senator John Madigan has spoken about this in the Senate. He will stand there and he will hold Tony Abbott as our next Prime Minister to account. And he will look him in the eye, and I will be right behind him, along with all of you people, to say, do what you said you would do. Because as we do say in the DLP, and as we say in Australia, we will never give up. Thank you.